afternoon. I'm Magic Marc, out here in front of the Cedar Cultural Center. And I'm presenting a show on June 19th, Saturday night, with the legendary Ramblin Jack Elliott, with the Rolling Patches Revue, and special guests. I'd like to just give you a little information on the show this afternoon. So I'd like to read from Bob Dylan's Chronicles, Volume 1, what Bob has to say about Ramblin Jack Elliott. You're trying too hard. You'll never turn into Woody Guthrie, Pancake says to me as if he's looking down from some high hill, like something has violated his instincts. It was no fun being around Pancake. He made me nervous. He breathed fire through his nose. You better think of something else. You're doing it for nothing. Jack Elliott's already been where you are and gone. Ever heard of him? No, I'd never heard of Jack Elliott. When Pancake said his name, it was the first time I'd heard it. Never heard of him, no? What does he sound like? John said that he played me his records and that I was in for a surprise. He lived in an apartment above Mikasha's bookstore, a place that specialized in eclectic old books, ancient texts, philosophical, political pamphlets from the 1800s and up. It was a neighborhood hangout for intellectuals and beat types on the main floor of an old Victorian house only a few blocks away. I went there with Pancake and saw it was true that he had all the incredible records, ones you never saw and wouldn't know where to get. For someone who didn't sing and play, it was amazing that he had so many. The record he took out and played for me was Jack's Takes the Floor, on the Topic label out of London, an imported record, a very obscure one. There were probably only 10 of these discs in the whole USA, and maybe Pancake had the only one in the country. I didn't know. If Pancake hadn't played it for me, most likely I would have never heard it. The record started to spin, and Jack's voice blasted into the room. San Francisco Bay Blues, O'Reilly, and Bedbug Blues go by in a flash. Damn, I'm thinking this guy is really great. He sounds just like Woody Guthrie, only a leaner, meaner one, not singing the same Guthrie songs, though. I felt like I'd been cast into sudden hell. Jack was some master of musical tricks. The record cover was mysterious, but not in an ominous way. It showed a character with certain careless ease, rakish looking, a handsome saddle tramp. He dressed like a cowboy. His tone of voice is sharp, focused and piercing. He drawls and he's so confident it makes me sick. All that, and he plays the guitar effortlessly in a fluid, flat-picking, perfected style. His voice leaps all over the room in a lazy way, and he is explosive when he wants to be. You could hear that he had Woody Guthrie's style down pat and more. Another thing, he was a brilliant entertainer, something that most of the folk musicians didn't bother with. Most folk musicians waited for you to come to them. Jack went out and grabbed you. Elliott, who'd been born 10 years before me, had actually traveled with Guthrie, learned his songs and style firsthand, and had mastered it completely. Pancake was right. Elliott was far beyond me. There were a few other Ramblin Jack records that he had. Two, one where he sings with Daryl Adams, a singer buddy of his from Portland who played banjo, like Bascom Lamar, Lunsford, and sang in a dry, laconic, witted style suited Jack perfectly. Together they sounded like horses galloping. They did more Pretty Girls Than One, Worried Man Blues, and Death of John Henry. Jack alone is something else, though. On the cover of his record, Jack Takes the Floor, you could almost see his eyes. They were saying something, but I knew not what. Pancake let me listen to the record repeated times. It was uplifting, but it was being thrown down at the same time. Pancake said something earlier like Jack being the king of the folk singers, the city ones. Anyway, listening to him, you wouldn't doubt it. I don't know if Pancake was trying to enlighten me or put me down. It didn't matter. Elliott had indeed already gone beyond Guthrie, and I was still getting there. I had nothing near the compelling poise of self that I heard on the record. I sheepishly left the apartment and went back into the cold street, aimlessly walked around. I felt like I had nowhere to go, felt like one of the dead men walking through catacombs. It would be hard not to be influenced by the guy I just heard. I'd have to block it out of my mind, though. Forget this thing, tell myself I hadn't heard him and he didn't exist. He was overseas in Europe, anyway, in a self-imposed exile. The U.S. hadn't been ready for him. Good, I was hoping he'd stay gone, and I kept hunting for Guthrie songs. A few weeks later, Pancake heard me playing again and was quick to point out that I didn't fool him, that I used to be imitating Guthrie and now I was imitating Elliott, and I did think in some way that I was equivalent to him. Pancake said that maybe I should go back to playing rock and roll, that I knew how I used to do that. I don't know how he knew. Maybe he was a spy too. But in any case, I wasn't trying to fool anybody. I was doing what I could do with what I had where I was. Pancake was right, though. You can't take only a few dance lessons and think you're Fred Astaire. Amongst my special guests for the evening will be Mr. Kevin Odegaard. You should check out his show on August 21st. He's doing Blood on the Tracks Live 10th anniversary show at Wolf Park. He has helped music stay at the forefront of Minneapolis, Minnesota, organizing concerts for over 10 years. He's an author as well. wrote the book A Simple Twist of Fate, Bob Dylan and the Making of Blood on the Tracks. He will be performing at the show amongst with many special guests. So check it out. I hope to see you there. I'd like to turn it over to our special guest, the Rolling Patches Revue. Thank you for your time.